What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect, a podcast show. Well, as Ari Shafir says, the Virzi Full Effect podcast show in studio here in New York City. My name is Paul Virzi, and you guys are listening to episode 564, and I have another great guest, another great pod, somebody who is no stranger to the show, no stranger to... Well, we talk about this to my life, to my life. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the true Greek freak. Well, I shouldn't say that because Andrew Themlis is all Greek too, and I call him the Greek freak. So the other Greek freak, Yannis Pappas, is here.
Yes, that's right.
Yannis Pappas is here.
We finally have a famous Greek that has a nickname that now has a reference for all Greeks. And it's my name. So now my Google search is down another 15 because he's the first Yannis. Then there was Yanni at the Acropolis.
But he spells it with a G.
Yeah, but it's still the same.
Yeah, does it bug you or no?
No, not at all.
No,
it's
okay.
when there's a Greek. Even if I hated a Greek, even if a Greek killed my whole entire family, if he succeeded on some level, I'm happy because he's a Greek and he succeeded. I was trained like that by my mother.
You're somebody that you liked, and we've talked about this before. You liked me a little better when you found out I was Greek.
Can't help it.
I don't know if we would have been fully on friends.
Couldn't help it. Yeah. I mean, you don't. I acknowledge you're Greek more than you do, but
Well, I met Yannis in 2009. I met Yannis at the Caroline's Christmas party. Caroline's, rest in peace. I met Yannis at the Caroline, and we're talking, and we start talking Yankees. We start talking sports, everything.
Rest in arrears. I think they're resting in arrears.
What?
They're probably resting in rental arrears.
And Yannis goes, yeah, bye. And I go, hey, yeah, you know, I'm Greek. My mother's 100% Greek. And something happened. When I said my mother's 100% Greek, I think you went like, what? Wow. Like, I could tell at that moment you were like, oh, now I'm going to really talk to this kid.
It's in there. It's conditioned. It's a conditioning. I can't help it. When I was a kid, when you're Greek, you're always looking for other Greeks because there's not a lot of us. I mean, you know what I mean? If I was Indian, I mean, I might be playing stadiums by now. But there's only like 1 million or 2 million Greeks in the entire country. So what Greeks do is like you...
Is that right?
Yeah, very few.
There's only 2 million Greeks in the country?
Maybe, yeah. In the entire country. Yeah, I mean, the country of Greece is only like 10 million.
And you're friends with John Stamos now, who is one of out of the 2 million, you could maybe say probably in the top 10% most famous Greeks?
Without a doubt, yeah. Without a doubt.
Is he? Would you say top
he's an
10?
American icon, yeah. He's an American icon. He's going to go kicking and screaming into heaven.
But here's the thing.
He doesn't want to die.
Here's the thing. Is John Stamos, he's not all Greek, is he?
No, he's not all Greek. But he acknowledges it, unlike you. I mean, he's half like you, but he goes Greek. Usually the Italian does not win if it's Italian and Greek. Just like in World War II, usually the Greek wins.
Yeah, but you never met my father.
Yeah, but why didn't you pick the winning side?
You never met my father.
But you guys lost.
Because I told you why. My grandmother was so hard on my mother with Greek that my mother rebelled against it.
Right.
My grandmother pushed it. It was harder than you.
Yeah.
She pushed it on her. Greeks are the best. Greek this, Greek that. We started everything.
Yeah.
And my mother was the one that they were hardest on because my mother had a sister, right? So my aunt, Yvonne, was younger. They were a little easier on her. My mom says that they were a little harder on her. So she goes, oh yeah, you're gonna be hard on me and you're gonna keep shoving this Greek shit down my throat? Now I'm gonna rebel a little bit. Where my dad talked about Sicilians like we would walk on water. I mean, my dad talked about us like, he's like, yeah, we're better.
Yeah.
We're better than normal Italians.
Yeah.
The Sicilians are the toughest and most loyal. That's all I heard.
Yeah.
You know, I was like 11. I just wanted to go eat with my dad. And
Yeah.
my dad was telling me how much better of a species we were.
He got in there. He got in there like Scientology at a young age.
Mike Albanese, everybody. You guys know Mikey out here producing Italian kid.
Italian-German.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where the height comes
So we were talking about that.
Yeah.
So the height, you're a big kid. And is your Italian Sicilian or no?
Yeah, Sicilian.
So you're Sicilian. You're a Sicilian German.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All the height and none of the give a fuck.
Yeah.
Wow. Sicilian German's kind of rare.
Yeah.
That's a Sicilian German's rare.
I don't know. Coming out of World War II, though, that's where it was stationed. All the Italian Americans stationed in Italy.
Oh, okay.
Came over, or stationed in Germany. So the Italians would come to America, and then they'd go off to World War II. And a lot of them were stationed in Germany. So I feel like there was an era, there was like a 4-year period where there was a ton of Italian-German combinations.
Yeah.
And most of them end up in Philly, Jersey, that kind of era.
It was an axis of evil marriage.
I was born out of hatred for freedom and Jews. Let's put it this
There's
way.
a Mussolini-Hitler thing going on.
If Hitler didn't do what he did, I might not be here.
Right.
So I kind of appreciate him for just his actions.
Right. There's
a direct response was made.
Something good came out of it.
Dude, speaking...
This podcast studio.
So speaking of Jews and Hitler, I'm watching Hunters, and I'm watching Hunters season 2. Okay, now the real quick of it, you didn't see it or whatever. The real quick of it is, I mean, it's pretty simple. Jordan Peele, I mean, anything. I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen every Jordan Peele thing, but a lot of things the kid's touching are good.
He's a talented guy.
I didn't see Nope, the one where you look at the clouds. I didn't see that one.
People were disappointed in that one.
Okay, I didn't see that one. But a lot of things he touched are pretty good. Hunters is basically, in the 70s, Jewish people in New York City with money and influence put together a team, and they basically Nazi hunt. And they find these people that were soldiers in the Nazi camps, and they basically find them, they hunt them down, and they kill them. And I'm not going to lie, if you like seeing evil people get found and killed, the show is incredible.
Yeah.
Al Pacino plays one of the older Jews with the money, which is incredible. But yeah, so... And then there was now you're a history guy, so let me ask this question. This is a question I really want to know, because some people say yes, some people say no. Hitler supposedly killed himself in the bunker with the woman that he was with.
I like how you said supposedly. Because
Well,
a lot of people believe he's in Argentina.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
There was apparently, because he didn't want his body drift. This is what they said. Hitler didn't want his body dragged around through the streets like Mussolini.
Right.
So he wanted to be, his order was, when I die, I need you to cremate my body real quick. But there were no bones. There was nothing found. There was never a body found. So is there any truth to the fact that Adolf Hitler did not die in that bunker and did go to Argentina?
Very possible.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, very possible. I mean, yeah, it's very possible.
It's very possible.
Absolutely.
He went to Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, no body. They never show. Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. Could be probable. Yeah, that he got, because a lot did. A lot of the old Nazis did make it out there to Argentina. Yeah, chose a pretty nice spot too.
Why
I mean, it looks like they did their research. Looks like they looked through a couple of brochures before they made the decision. You're like, all right, what are our options? Ghana? Nah. Where's? Give me a malaria-light remote location.
Yeah.
And Argentina.
Yeah. Argentina, yeah.
It's funny that there's just a bunch
of Italians in Argentina.
Mostly Italian.
Yeah.
As far as immigrated, big immigration, big wave of immigrants from Italy. But it's funny that just like a bunch of Germans showed up to Argentina, and like nobody in Argentina had any questions. They just showed up with their SS uniforms and they were like, "Hey, we got," and they were just like, "Hey, we like Laverne and Shirley," and they were like, probably must be Americans. I don't know who these guys are. Where are you guys coming from? We're coming from San Diego. Everything's good. Broken English with a German accent. Jew blood still dripping off their gloves.
They're definitely not Hitler. I promise. Swear to God.
Yeah, we love Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart. Where can we set up settlement?
Do you sell blue jeans?
Yeah, where's the blue jeans? We're immigrants, very hungry, looking for a better life.
There's a lot of...
These guys aren't suspicious at all.
No,
they just welcome with open arms.
And there's a lot of history saying that the United States government took some of the brilliant Nazis and like helped us get to rockets and shit. And put them. There's a name of the program.
Yes.
Where they basically took the Nazis and they were like, you'll be exonerated of your crime war.
Yes.
Or your war crime, whatever. And if you help us fucking send rockets up to seriously,
that is true.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So you're learning something on TVE this week, everybody.
Paperclip.
It was Paperclip.
Operation Paperclip.
And still to this day, 1/4 of the Argentinian population is German.
Yeah.
A fourth.
No.
Yeah.
1/4 of the entire nationality of Argentina.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they probably just got to work reproducing quick because they knew that Jew hunters were coming soon. So they were like, well, we want to have some progeny. So they just probably started having a lot of sex just to make sure they survived.
And here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing.
Because it was important to them, apparently.
But if you were
to dominate, one way or the other.
Yeah, but if you were a Jewish person in New York City, and you get called,
how could you not be in New York City?
No. What I'm saying is, if you were that, and you get called into a room, and some Jewish billionaire goes, you're gonna kill these people. We're gonna make sure that you never get, dude. That's like a license to revenge. Like this guy. How about this? They show you a picture and they go, this guy strangled your grandmother in front of her siblings, and he's on 78th Street right now. And you're like, and they go, and you're going to be funded. We're going to take care of it. That's pretty fucking cool, dude. I mean, maybe it's just as silly to me, but like, you give me the picture, and they go, this guy strangled your grandparents. Yeah. He's on 78th Street. He's 77 years old, and he's sitting down watching Jeopardy right now. Here, go do what you want to do, dude. That's fucking dope.
That's going to give you butterflies. That's like just called a hooker butterflies. That's excitement.
That's like first time walking into a strip club as an 18-year-old. Butterflies.
Those are butterflies.
Yeah.
Just as much. I am equally as hard right now thinking about it. About going and killing that old man.
The guy walks in with a rager.
Yeah, that is going to give you like first date, just holding a girl's hand for the first time.
Here's the thing. The billionaire says to you, he goes, no, as soon as you're done, you just leave. We got people to clean it up. We just want you to go in. You should do whatever you want. And he was like, there's no, we got passports. You got unlimited money. Like that's like.
And they probably said, take your time with it. Don't make it, make it hurt. Make it hurt. Yeah, no, with Jews, after World War II, it became like Fat Joe says, yesterday's prices are not today's prices. You know that? It's a great quote. Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Yesterday's prices are not today's prices. With Jews after World War II, it's like it's a different deal now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're not just steamrolling us anymore. You fuck with the Jews now. Yeah. Like it's yesterday's prices and not today's prices. You're gonna pay.
Yeah, you want to know what's really funny? What you just said?
Because
we all do this, and it's really funny. We always quote rappers. Like we could say profound shit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, did you hear what Jay-Z said? One time I think we quoted, or we talked about Flavor Flav quotes.
Yeah.
Rappers say some profound shit.
Yeah, they do.
Isn't it like how many times have you heard like Jay-Z said this? Like you just said, Biggie's quote was this.
I mean,
you just said Fat Joe said something profound.
Fat Joe. I mean, he did. Yesterday's prices are not today's prices. Yeah, I mean, 50 Cent is always quoted on all those motivational pages. They'll throw a soundtrack behind him, and he'll say some soundbite. And you're like, yeah, I mean, because street wisdom is Machiavellian.
It's a different smart.
It's a Machiavellian. It's it's smart. It's people smart. They're people smart. A lot of them are very people smart. Mike Tyson is now Confucius. I don't know how that happened. Everything that comes out of that guy's mouth, I'm like, I'm like, hang on every word.
Dude, he had somebody in there, and he'll just listen to them talk, Tyson, and he'll just go like, how did that make you feel, right? And you're just, and then he's like, you were hurt.
Yeah.
You were hurt. And you're just like, wow, dude, he's like,
he's
ever since he's been taking mushrooms, he's on something.
He's like, I can't just fuck people. I'm not one of those guys. If I fuck you, I love you. That was one of my favorite. If I fuck you, I love you.
Is that what he said?
I'm not one of those guys. I can't fuck nobody. If I fuck you, I love you.
He always sounds like he's just right about to cry.
Yeah, I mean, the kid has a sensitive side. He loves pigeons. Yeah, he loves pigeons.
Yeah,
he has a sensitive side.
But he's a very deep thinker, man. He's like a deep guy.
Yeah,
and he says profound things because he's been through hell.
It's very interesting because usually boxers, they get punched into kind of like being stupid. He got punched into wisdom. It's the opposite happened.
It might be the mushrooms,
or it might have just been like.
I think he's doing mushrooms now, dude.
The last couple fights, maybe against Botha, remember those tight fights were like. When Mike Tyson wasn't at his prime anymore, he was fat and like a fat white Australian, and he was giving him the business. You're like, we don't want to see this. I don't want to see Frank Botha go the distance with Mike Tyson. And maybe a couple of those blows from him just like unlocked the wise part of his brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when he said, this isn't in my heart anymore.
Yeah.
He just looked, he goes, I don't want to do this. I was just doing it for money. It's not in my heart anymore.
Yeah.
Then he cried recently, and he goes, I don't want to ever be that guy again. I'm afraid of that guy.
Yeah.
There's some deep, if Mike Tyson has got some heavy shit, no?
Well, he lost $700 million. He made $700 million.
I thought he lost $300 million.
$700 million he lost.
Wow.
$700 million. I saw that. You could double check that stat.
Mike, can you check Mike Tyson? I thought it was 300, but he lost $700 million?
$700 million, I think he made in his career, and I think now he's worth $10 million.
I think he said his accountant gives him he has an allowance now. He's not allowed to.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the famous story where his Ferrari ran out of gas and he just gave it to someone and went to another dealership. I mean, like he would just start giving cars away. I mean,
well, according to The Sun, he at one point. He accrued over $300 million throughout his career and ended up losing all of it. According to Forbes, at one point he was as high as $685 million, and as of 2022, it's estimated to be just $10 million.
600. Yeah, you're right.
Well, we were both right, depending on what you read, which is kind of like how it is now. You know, it's like, does the vaccine kill you? Does it not? It depends on which podcast you listen to.
And let's be honest, if you lose 300, it might as well be 600.
To us.
If you lose $300 million,
to us.
I think it's an infinite amount of loss.
To us. But like to someone who has 307, there's a difference. But to us, you're going like, what's the difference? 300, 700. But there's a $400 million difference.
That's incredible.
It's a big difference. If your lifestyle is up there, like, you know, what a 100 millionaire spends, then 400 million missing, it's a difference.
Mike, I'm sorry, I don't mean to ask you. Can you just find out the story? Mike Tyson's car runs out of gas and he gave it to somebody or something. I heard some ridiculous thing where then he just got a ride to a dealership and got another one. I mean, the kid was at one point. The kid was just. I mean, he bought a tiger.
Yeah.
He had tigers running around his house.
Yeah. That's like a famous boxer trope. Like if you become a famous champion, you have to get an exotic animal.
You know where I think that came from? Right. I think it all came from Scarface. I think it all came from Tony Montana because remember he got married to Michelle Pfeiffer and they walk out in the music montage and he looks up across the little pond and there's a tiger on the chain. After that happened, because that was Scarface was 70s. You started to see like the exotic thing because everybody wanted to be Tony Montana. Tony Montana was rapped about a lot.
Yeah.
Everybody always talked about Tony Montana.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible that had a big influence. But even if you look at like the older boxers, I don't know if they had the exotic animal, but they definitely had the furs. They definitely started dressing like pimps, you know?
A boxer showing up in a furs, real
yeah,
funny.
they just started dressing like pimps.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like Sugar Ray Robinson, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's a pink Cadillac. They go gaudy. Yeah. It's funny how it's just like, you know, when you're an athlete, I think when you come from nothing, you go
big.
Yeah, you go as big as you can. And exotic animal is just something like you go, how much does it cost?
Right.
$1 million. And I'll take it.
Yeah, is there anything on that or not?
So the story isn't about gas. He was parking his brand new Lamborghini, $350,000 Lamborghini, at the MGM right before the Holyfield fight, and he backed it into a stanchion, causing what roughly is estimated about $1,000 worth of damage, and he didn't want to deal with it. So the security guard that was standing there, he handed him the keys and says, "It's yours now," and he gave the Lamborghini on his way in to fight Holyfield to a security guard who just happened to be standing there.
Yeah.
And this is eyewitness account from people that were there. They saw it happen.
$1,000 worth of damage.
You know,
take it. But I think, I actually think there's another story. But either way, think about that. Think about that. There's
the hard part about searching that is saying Mike Tyson runs out of gas. It's like that's never happened. It's hard to differentiate between the ring and behind the car because he's never been gassed in his life.
You know,
how wild is that?
That's wild. Charlie Murphy. I remember, like when I was a young comic, I went on tour with Charlie Murphy and Donnell Rawlings. And I was having lunch with Charlie Murphy, and he told me about what he learned in jail was that life was about negotiating comfort. And he was like, that's what it is in jail. You know, you're trying to negotiate having a private shit, or there's little comforts you're trying to negotiate.
Yeah.
And in life, it's the same. And that's what money affords you, is like your ability to negotiate comfort. That is the ultimate example of like, I don't want to deal with this hassle. Take the car. I have enough money that like it's not uncomfortable for me to deal with this.
Yes.
So take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait on a line.
Yeah.
I'm going to fly private. Like it's all about
negotiating
getting
comfort.
Yeah.
He was right about that.
Rest in peace too. I mean, I heard things from him that people said to him were profound.
Yeah, he had that kind of like we were just talking about. He had kind of that like street smart kind of wisdom. Yeah,
yeah,
he did. He was an interesting dude with his new teeth,
and he could sense things. I heard like when they say the heat around the corner, like in the street when something's about to go down. Those guys can it's a whole different type of smart.
It's
and
like
I'll tell you something.
Jungle smarts.
I think it's smart. Or better to have that smart than to know algebra, in my opinion. Because I would rather know that if I'm out in a public situation, a public setting, and something is off, and my instincts are telling me something's off, I'd rather be able to feel that. I mean, you got to be somewhat book smart, but like that street smart stuff will keep you alive a lot more than fucking knowing a math problem.
Well, I'll agree with you because algebra is way out of my reach. So I'll just go, yeah, I agree.
You know, it's funny you said that because I said to Lucas, I go, my son's in 8th grade, right? And I said, if you gave me one of your algebra problems right now, and if me figuring it out depended on the survival of the world, we're all dead.
Yeah, no,
we're all fucking dead.
I've seen you even try to figure out the tip. It's a far jump. As a far jump from figuring out what 20%.
No, I'll go with the tip.
65.
I know you add the first numbers.
I don't know the tip.
No,
no.
I give it to State. You give it to your wife?
I always give it to my wife.
Yeah.
I sign it and hand the bill to my wife, and she figures it out. She does math for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's funny how we'll often do that with the I rather thing, and the I rather thing is always something conveniently that you can achieve.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'd rather have a little street smarts than be able to run a company. It's like, oh wait, because I just don't have the ability to run a company. So I'll take the street smarts.
I'll take the street smarts always. Math was never my math and science. I'm good in social studies and English though. I was good writing papers, good writing stories.
Yeah.
When creative shit.
Yeah.
But you know.
But when you say good, what's the scale of good?
Like a B plus student in English. You want me to write an essay and tell you a story? I can fucking do it.
I was good in English too, the language that I learned when I was 4. So.
But I mean, like I can write a paper. If they said write a paper about a man getting stuck in the woods, and getting in the woods and getting out, I could write you a good paper.
You could write a paper about a guy getting stuck in the woods.
I could write a paper if the teacher said I want you to write a paper about somebody being stuck in the woods, and I need you to make it riveting, and I need a middle end, and I want to fucking whole thing.
So you could write jokes.
I could do that.
Yeah,
right.
jokes. Yeah.
But if you tell me to go to earth science, and you start talking to me about learning about rocks and what's in the core of the earth, not only do I tune out, it's just an F.
Yeah, no,
it's just an F.
You're an Italian Greek kid who probably comes from a long line of marble guys.
Marble.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the Italians are good with marble.
Yeah.
You could probably carry them. You're probably strong. You can carry a block of marble on your back, and you could probably design a floor with it and be like, cut it up.
It's funny.
We're immigrants kids. We're like, it's like there's a lot of my grandfather owned the diner. It's like,
it's funny how an Italian kid could drop out of school, but then all of a sudden they could tile a bathroom perfectly.
You could rob a bank probably good. It's your dream.
It's a fantasy.
Yeah, it's a fantasy
of mine. It actually always has been a fantasy of mine to just walk out of a bank with like a hockey bag filled with cash.
Now here's the deal. I don't know if you know this, but there's a Sicilian mob boss. He was the Sicilian mob boss. He was the most wanted man in Italy for 30 years. So he was on the run they couldn't catch him for 30 years in Italy. Italy is not as big as the United States. He's not in Afghanistan in the mountains and the caves. He's in Italy. At some point, he took a vacation to Greece. Like, he had kids. He was like eating at cafes. It took him 30 years, and they made this big announcement. They had an anti-mafia police in Italy specifically looking for this guy. They finally caught him last week after 30
Wait,
years.
last week?
Last week. 30 years. He's the most wanted man in Italy. And
Can we get his name?
Yeah, part of me thinks that it took 30 years because the Italian people like you didn't want to catch him. They kind of admired him a little bit. So they just let him, they're like, let him alone.
No, he probably
we got to look at it from his perspective.
No, but you know what he probably...
The neighborhood was clean. I mean,
you know what he probably did?
There was no crime in his area. He had a monopoly on the crime, so nobody else could do crime.
Yeah, but you know what he did? He'd probably go to the cafe. Everybody, get him a cappuccino.
Yeah,
he probably,
Well, take him another month. We'll get him next month. I mean, the article, I was dying. I did a whole thing on my podcast about it because it made me laugh so hard.
You know how many dinners he probably bought that FBI agent looking
They were celebrating, like, getting him, and then it's like, after a 30-year hunt. There's like a person who was born, got married, has kids, is already at a middle management position, and they finally got this guy. Like, they obviously got him when he was like, look, I don't want to live on the outside anymore.
How old was he?
He's old now, yeah. He's like not a young man.
Was he not?
30 years. So he's probably in his 60s, 70s. Probably got terminal cancer. He probably cut a deal with the police, like, hey, because of course, you need to have a cell where you can cook. He's like, as long as you put me in a place that has a fucking electric burner and access to tomatoes.
Soft bread.
Yeah, tomatoes and a razor blade for the garlic, I'm fine.
His name is the most mafia name ever. It's Matteo De Niro.
Yeah, Matteo De Niro.
And he's 60.
He's 60.
Oh,
6 years
still
old.
young.
Yeah, youngish.
And they brought him in he was wearing like a Gucci leather fluff.
He wasn't exactly hiding out. They kept saying like he was in hiding for 30 years, and then you read and he's like he took a vacation to Greece. I mean, the guy got on an airplane and they couldn't catch him. He's not Osama bin Laden hiding underground. I mean,
he's in plain sight. He's clearly in plain sight. But what's funny is
here's the funnier part. The funnier part is they arrested another guy. this is my favorite part. They arrested another guy in another country who was a British guy who they insisted was him. So they like brought him in. And they're going, and
he had an English accent.
It was a different guy. He was a British guy. It's like Italians are much better at being criminals than they are cops. I mean, you watch that Amanda Knox thing where the police inspector's like, I just got a hunch that she did it. It's just her. He's like, do you have any evidence? No, but she's a vixen.
No, she looked weird. Yeah.
I don't like her body language. And you're going like, you guys are like, you just see Italian cops like running into each other like Benny Hill, like nah, 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 nah. But when it comes to crime, that's what you're passionate about.
One of the truest things that Yannis has ever said. And by the way, when I think of being in jail and I think of what they went through in Goodfellas, it looked incredible.
Right, because you got a burner.
No, I mean, but they were like it was like a dinner party every night.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things Yannis ever said, and Mike, you'll appreciate this because you're Italian, but he said something to me where he said, if you weren't half Greek,
but he's German too.
I know.
It wins out. The German, if you get the German in you, it's like being a cyborg. It's like he's a robot. He's like AI. So that wins. The human part of him can't compete with AI. Can't compete. You can't compete with AI.
No. But what you said to me was, you said if you weren't half Greek, you probably would be full blown criminal. And I got to be honest.
True. Yeah.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah.
Because I did things young that I can't. When I look back at it now, I can't believe that I would do something like that actually could have put me in jail.
Yeah.
There were things that I did young. I mean, I would have probably went to a juvie hall because I was young. But like, if somebody was like, "Hey, dude, do you want to go rob that thing?" To me, it was like, oh, there's some cash over there. Should we take the cash? For me, it wasn't like a. It was, and I was like a good kid. See, that's the funny thing about Italians, like, because I talked to that FBI agent. He was an FBI agent. He's now a comedian. Right? And he goes, when you talk to these guys, he goes, they're like fun loving. Like, the funny thing about Italians is, even criminals, is they're fun loving. They have good sense of humor. They like to eat. They like to talk. They like to travel. But for them, it's like, I'm going to just rob a bank to earn money, which is really fucking funny. But you were right about that, where I think if I was full blown 100% Sicilian, there could be a chance that things might have went south younger.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I don't know.
Certain things are cultural. I mean, like, when can you just admit it? I mean, Martin Luther King's Day just passed. He said the most brilliant thing ever. He said a person should be judged on the content of their character alone. That's no matter what your race, your thing, your sexuality, it's your content and character. Is this particular person a good guy? But when it comes to culture, can't we just admit that cultures are a little different and they're into different things?
Yes.
Like, am I supposed to just ignore the fact that Italians and African Americans love Scarface because of history? It's like, maybe there's something in the culture that turns them on.
Yeah.
They go like, hey, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see any Germans going like, oh, I love Scarface. You don't see like a bunch of Polacks going like walking around going, how you doing? And throwing on fucking Gucci vests. It's Italians and blacks with the fucking ribs and the fur coats and the fucking crime. And the crime. So it's like, there's a reason, they fucking love Scarface. They love Goodfellas.
I've never heard an Asian person talk about Scarface.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
I've never heard an Asian person talk about...
No, because they're too busy fucking playing violins and doing math.
Or fucking being brilliant doctors.
Yeah, or Jews. And it was the Jews who run the... if the Jews run the world, what's their key? They fucking read.
Yeah, they study.
They go to fucking school. That culture, it doesn't turn them on. Like, what turns them on is money. Now, they may do a little financial crime. That's what turns them on a little bit.
A little white collar?
A little white collar crime here and there, a la the great Bernie Madoff, who pulled off the greatest heist of all time. Almost got away with it, too.
Bernie Madoff,
People weren't such pussies.
Bernie Madoff.
Yeah. But, there's certain things that get into the culture. Greeks, there's certain things. We like to argue. We overthink things. We get dramatic. I mean,
I look at
stereotypes don't just fall from the sky.
Well, here's the other thing, too. I look at dog breeds. Yeah. When you look at dog breeds, like a dog breed, I mean, there's...
A little bit. It's not the full extent because you have to judge people individually. And that's why what Martin Luther King was one of the most brilliant, and some of the most brilliant things are usually the most simple. It's like the content of a person's character. A person, not a group of people, a person's character.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you're judging people on
Well, that's also kind of common sense. I mean, as profound as it is, it's kind of common sense, though.
But it's put forth.
Right. He put it on a bigger thing. But
it's like that's, do unto others as you want unto you is a brilliant thing. Right. It's simple. you say it's common sense, but the old adage about common sense, it's not so common. If it was common, then it wouldn't be. So I mean, it's like, it'd just be nice to have a little more honesty in the world without people fucking jumping down your throat and reading into what you said. It's like, look, man, there's some things we know are all obvious.
Yeah.
When Leah Thomas got in the pool and she smoked those chicks, you're going like, how did that happen? First of all, she's 3 feet taller, and she was a guy yesterday. She was a guy. Leah Thomas.
The swimmer. Yeah.
You're going like, that may have something to do with it. I'm no fucking scientist or mathematician, but can I say that might have something to do with it? Now, look, if she transitioned when she was 7, and she didn't develop, but she was a male swimmer the year before. So you're going like, maybe that had something to do with it.
Dude, watching her smoke everyone in the pool was one of the greatest things I've seen.
I enjoyed it, and I support it. It's not my fight. It's a women's issue.
Yeah.
My view on that stuff is ladies, you figure it out.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Who better to figure it out than women?
Look, dude, if you want to make women's sports more exciting, let guys who recently transitioned play. I'd like to see a few more fucking dunks in the WNBA, to be honest with you.
Dude.
Yeah. Be nice.
Yeah, I said.
So don't ask me. I support it.
Did you watch her winning that race?
Oh, it was nice
because it was fun to watch. Not the applause though.
Yeah,
because everyone's like, I don't know. Like I don't know what to do. Yay, but also this is bullshit.
Yeah. Supposedly now she's like losing a little bit or struggling, and
No, I heard they stopped it. They're not allowing it anymore.
I think she's still swimming around. I don't know.
She's still swimming.
Yeah,
she's doing like a good guy would and let the girls win a couple.
Yeah, and look, and the other way, I fully support.
Dude, that's funny. They call her in to think they're like, listen, keep this one close.
Yeah. And
ratings are tanking. Can you keep it close?
Keep it close. And the other way around, I fully support. It's like
every now and again you gotta let your girlfriend win at arm wrestling to make her feel good. Like, oh, you got it.
Yeah. And look, and listen, if a girl can transition and make it to the NFL, I support that. I mean, good luck with that. I mean, can you imagine a trans man trying to cover OBJ in the open field?
Right.
If you can do that, God bless.
Yeah.
I think everyone supports that. Like if a woman who transitions into a man or a female who transitions to a male can compete at that level, they should be able to.
I mean, if you could compete in, like if you could actually compete at that level, that would be unreal.
Absolutely.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I support. So I think everyone does.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When everyone's like, you're against trans people being in sports, like in the sport of their, to match their gender identity, you're going, that's not true. Because I think 100% of the population supports trans men competing against men, right? So that's a transition, but for some reason that's not a controversy because trans men, it's a little harder. It's a little harder for Elliot Page to cover fucking OBJ in the open field.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. The other way.
Yeah, the other way. It's like, you're like, people are against trans sports. Like, no. No, we're not. We're in complete support of trans men. Every single human being on the planet would have no objection to a trans man making it in the NFL. It would be incredible to watch. You'd be like, holy shit.
Like if you watched a defensive end just sack the quarterback, just throw somebody aside and just get a monster sack. It'd be wild.
And the reason why it's not controversy is because it's close to impossible. It's not easy. It's close to impossible.
It's harder.
It's close to impossible. So it's like, and the reason why it's impossible is because of the difference between men and women. So then we end up full circle at the beginning, and you're going like, that's why they don't bring up trans men in men's sports.
Right. So you're saying like what the capability is.
Right.
Yeah. What the capability is.
Yeah. And so it's that's.
But it would be very interesting to see that.
I would support. Who wouldn't support that?
I think
who wouldn't support that?
No, the rate that would be insane.
Who wouldn't support that?
Becca Longo almost did. She was the first female to receive a football scholarship as a kicker.
As a kicker, yeah.
1 year, and that was that.
Yeah, I mean,
no, a kicker is one thing, but I'm talking about if somebody was like a D end.
But even a kicker, even a woman.
Like I'm talking about if somebody was a D end and they're doing spin moves and they're getting to the quarterback, that would be unbelievable to watch.
But even a kicker, watching a woman kicker kick a fucking 51-yarder. Be incredible.
Right,
and they probably one day will be able to do it, and there may be one woman who can't, or two, men who were women, and that would be great. They kick in a field goal and they can do it, and that'd be great.
What is your guys' thoughts on this? Because I have a theory here. Mm-hmm. I actually think that there is some truth to Terminator. And I actually think that in 100 to 200 years from now, we will be 200, 300 years, there will be robotic parts to people. I think that I think that there'll be cyborg shit where it's like, we're going to morph from human to, like, dude, that shit in Star Wars, I know it's Star Wars, but like when Luke got his hand cut off and then all of a sudden they put the hand and then they like opened up the thing and it went like this and then there was needles touching his finger so he could feel and it did that. I think we're moving to that, dude.
We're in part already there.
And I think, no, but I'm talking about like, I think it's going to be commonplace in 500 years where like people are like made of machine, dude.
I think in 10 to 20, not 500. I mean, the Neuralink, they're saying they're about to do that.
That one kid is there's a Russian billionaire called, I think it's called Project 42. And he said by 2042, because he doesn't want to die. So there's a billionaire. I watched it. No, I watched it. There's a Russian billionaire, and the kids had money. I don't know, through his family. I think he was like 30. Is he his 30s or 40s? And he came up with something that's called Project 42. Mike, can you just check and make sure?
Project 42 has a lot to do with Jesus. I don't know if that's
okay. So
the same thing you're looking at.
It's a
what gazettes do you read?
No, it was a doc. It was a doc.
I would see your Twitter algorithm.
Just write. Russian billionaire tries to, because what he wants to do is he wants to put something that can attach to your brain and have your memory.
Elon Musk is doing that.
He wants to attach something to your brain and have it go to the I guess the stem of your spinal cord to your brain, where you can be a robot but have the same memories. And it was called Project something. It was a number of a year that he said it would be done by, because the guy doesn't want to die.
Well,
and he's trying to do that.
Yeah, Elon Musk has the Neuralink that's like ready now.
Can you find that though, just so I don't look like
it's Dmitry Itskov who came up with a thing called the 2045 Initiative.
2045. Okay, I said 42. So whatever. 2045.
No, same. Yeah.
One of them doesn't want you to die. The other one's about the gospel.
Right. Well, no, I got the year wrong by 3 years.
Working within a network of scientists to develop cybernetic immortality within the next few decades.
Yes. Yeah, because he wants something that they said they're going to replace something from your spine to your brain that is going to make your memories, so you could basically be a robot and not die, and your memories will be there. So you'll remember your family and friends, but you can't die because your organs.
So they're going to like upload your consciousness.
They're going to upload your consciousness.
Yeah, good
through
luck
something.
with that.
I mean, and I don't think
that I don't believe.
But that's why I said 500 years.
Yeah.
Because if they're starting that now, because it's going to be glitches and not work.
The whole immortality thing I don't buy, because everything dies, stars, everything has a rise, peak, and fall.
Right.
But I just don't buy that. Maybe they will elongate a life.
Well, they're going to. That's what I'm saying. They're going to be able to elongate.
But we've already done that. I mean, people live till 80 or whatever. So we'll maybe continue to do that. But the immortality thing, I don't think is possible, because you just look at nature and everything dies.
Right.
And I think it'll be a problem if everything lives forever.
Even though he said immortality, I think he's maybe looking for like
longevity,
like hundreds of years or something like that. But it's pretty wild that like
he just wants to play with his son in the NBA, like LeBron.
Yeah, Dmitry. What's his name?
Dmitry Itskov.
Itskov.
Yeah, by
death
20,
to the Ukraine. And then at the end of the article, did it say death to the Ukraine? Or did he call it the Kiev Republic?
No, but I accidentally clicked on the website, and it just looks like a far right conservative news organization now. It's just this. It's all this weird robot avatars.
And the documentary showed like a picture of what he would have on the brain, and it's like, how is that even gonna work?
Here's the thing, though. Like, I mean, that aside, they have like robot arms you can put on now, like that, for people who've lost limbs.
Dude, remember prosthetics in the 80s, dude? It looked like it looked like a Barbie doll. Dude, a prosthetic in the 80s, you might as well be like, you know what? Don't give me that thing. I can't do anything with it.
Just pull out a hand.
Dude, prosthetics in the 80s, there was no mobility. It was like a big plastic.
Yeah, you just pull out your hand, it would be like like a wood hand.
Yeah, like you just pull it all, like it was just stiff.
It was like a toupee for your hand. Like everyone can tell. It's like a rug for your leg. Yeah, now they have things where they actually.
It was like bright beige.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even try to make it match.
Or wood. Sometimes it would just be wood. Someone would knock on the door and you'd be like, that guy's got a loud knock. And then you're like, oh, all right, he's got a door. Dude, it's a door-on-door contact.
Dude, I went to school with a kid. I think he hit somebody with it.
Yeah.
Like a weapon.
Yeah. That would be like if there was a rights movement for guys with wooden hands to get into combat sports. They're like, what, man? He can't help it. He's disabled.
Slap fighting with a fucking wood hand.
Like, but that's not fair. You go, hey,
get out cold.
Don't discriminate against the guy's disabled. It's not his fault he's got a wood hand. But he doesn't have an advantage. Shut up.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but now they got where
shit.
it actually attaches to your brain. So like your brain, your brain controls the fingers. And they just give you the fingers, so they attach it to your brain.
But what do they? So
Thoughts.
if they could do that to your brain, then that means they could do more.
Yeah, they can.
Like
I mean, you know what Neuralink is?
Well, they're doing it to your muscles. They're not doing it to your brain yet, because that would be a
it's not your thoughts, dude.
No, but you can think to move it.
Well, because it attaches to your muscles.
All right, and your muscles react.
The rest of the muscle, and then as if you were moving it, just like your brain sends a signal. So it's attaching to the muscle, and then now the muscle can coordinate with the rest of the arm.
Okay.
And
yeah.
But it's still minor, like you can open, close, that type of stuff.
You can't jerk off.
No, I mean you probably could.
You probably could. Imagine jerking off with a metal hand.
The first guy did it.
Yeah. You know,
At least it feels like a different person.
You know, like the internet with the new technology, that's one of the first things guys tried to jerk off with the metal hand.
The doctor definitely gave the first guy and sit down and said, "Look, it's a delicate machine."
Hey man, yeah. Listen, you don't want to hurt yourself. And maybe they gave him like a jerk off glove. They were like, "Here's a soft pillow. If you're gonna jerk off, put this on so you don't kill your dick." But the Neuralink is in your brain. The Neuralink. And they're like doing that now. Like it's happening now. So Elon Musk's company, Neuralink, so they implant it in your brain.
Yeah.
And it makes a connection, and like they think they can cure Parkinson's, they can cure Alzheimer's.
What do you mean now? When you say they implant it in your brain, what does that even mean?
Dog, if I could answer any question about how it works, I wouldn't be sitting here on your podcast.
No, but you're saying they're putting it in your brain.
They put it in your head. They drill it in your head. They open your head and they put it in on your brain. And it sends electric things. Here's we go. This is how the most I know. It sends electricity somewhere. It does stuff that makes you not have Parkinson's.
It's such a comic way to describe it.
Yeah.
They drill in your brain and then it sends messages.
But it essentially makes you a cyborg. It'll like give you super memory.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you'll be able to access the internet, will be in your head.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But if they're trying that now, if Elon Musk is trying that now, what's the world going to look like in 100 years?
Yeah, 5 to 10, that's what I'm saying.
No,
like,
5 to 10.
Dude, look it up.
They're waiting to be approved by the FDA for human trials, so it's never been tested.
They're doing human trials of it.
Not yet.
But they're trying to get approved.
They're trying to get this year. They're trying to get approval so they can.
Which means they've done their own trials.
But they can't put it on a person.
No, they can't. But they're trying. Like what I'm saying is
they put it on an animal first or some shit.
I'm saying the process is happening now. Like they want to do the human trials now.
Yeah,
you know,
they
want to do the experimental jab now.
That's wild.
Well, Vox recently reported that the breakneck speed in which Neuralink likely caused researchers to test and kill more animals than a slower, more conventional approach. They've killed at least 1,500 animals, over 280 sheep, pigs, and monkeys, as well as mice and rats to try to get this thing to work. And then nothing's happened.
Hey, listen, like the great Robert Moses said, you can't break omelets with you can't make omelets without breaking a few eggs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
judge a pig not by its location, but the content of its broken skull.
The content of its broken skull.
Guys, real quick, we're going to do plugs now. Got you. We're going to do plugs right now, and then we're going to finish up with Yanni. You know what? This is such a good one. How about this? This is such a good one. We're having such a good time. We're going to do a two-parter. We're going to come back after the break, and we're going to do another one. We're going to do another episode with Yannis Pappas. But I want to thank everybody who has rated and reviewed the Virzi Effect. You can get the Virzi Effect podcast everywhere you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. Guys, since we've been in here, since we teamed up, ATC teamed up with Mikey and we're in studio, I want to thank all of the new listeners, obviously all of the old school listeners who've been here from day one. Thank you guys so much. Keep reviewing it. Tell a friend. Guys, I will be in Toronto this Saturday night, kicking off the Level Up Tour, the Royal Theatre. It's filling up. Get your tickets this Saturday, Royal Theatre, January 28th. And then I come home. I'm headlining New York City for the first time since my special, Gotham Comedy Club, February 2nd. And February 3rd, I'm doing 3 shows, so get tickets to those as well. And then Valentine's Day with Pittsburgh's own Joe Bartnick. I will be headlining the Pittsburgh Improv Valentine's Day. It's a Tuesday night. Bring your dates. We just added Raleigh. We just added Charlotte. We're going to be going to the Vulcan in Austin. We're going to Zanies in Chicago. We're going to Salt Lake City. We're going to Denver. We're going to Tampa. We are going to Rhode Island, and more dates are going to be added. Go to paulvirzi.com for all of those dates. Check out the Anything Better podcast and my special Nocturnal Admissions. Thank you guys for making it globally trend. There you go. Yanni, what do you got coming up, man?
When's this come out?
This will be out tomorrow.
So, yeah, come see me in San Diego this weekend.
Great club.
Then Madison, Wisconsin, Tacoma, Washington, Chicago, Atlantic City, Emmaus, Pennsylvania, D.C., Dallas, Springfield, Missouri, which is, I hope that's fun. Phoenix, Arizona, Tampa, San Fran, Providence, Rhode Island, Yannis Pappas Comedy. .com for tickets, and my podcast, The Yannis Pappas Hour.
Check out The Yannis Pappas Hour, all Yannis's dates. One of the funniest out there doing it. Mike, you got anything? You got to also check out Mike Albanese, man. Super, super funny comic out of Atlanta. Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be in, I'm going with Steve Byrne up to, Syracuse Funny Bone. But I'm headlining Comedy Zone in Charlotte on March 1st, and then I'm at the RVA Brewing headlining there the 3rd and 4th of March, and then that's all that's coming up.
Check out Mike Albanese. Mike is open for me in Atlanta. Super, super funny. Hilarious dude. So before we get out of here on this episode, thank you guys so much for listening, dude. That thing you said had me really laughing, dude. But with the fake limbs is so funny. But I got a new car. I want to talk about the new car, okay?
Yeah.
Because I think there's something called passenger etiquette in a car. Okay? There's certain things that bug me about people and going in cars, okay? You don't ask questions in cars. Here's the other thing. If somebody picks you up in a new car, says, hey, Paul, I like you. You recently got a new car, right? Can I say you got a new Tesla?
Yeah.
Go, so Yannis gets a new Tesla. Now, if Yannis picked me up in his new Tesla, he said, Paul, I want you to see this new thing I got. It's a nice car. Come in. I'm going to pick you up. He doesn't live far. And I get in the car. I should not have food or a bag. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I don't even know if I'd have a coffee or a drink. I'd ask you first and say, hey, I got a Diet Coke. Man, you want me to finish this thing now before I get in the car? That's what you do, okay? You definitely don't say, hey, do you mind if I smoke? Can I I'll keep it out the window.
No, smoking is no.
If you ask somebody that even when you get in their old car,
yeah.
Hey, man, can I smoke? I'll keep it out the window. You're a selfish piece of shit. It's like smoke the cigarette before you get in somebody's car. That's number one.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. I got a brand new car, okay? New white leather. I'm going to tell somebody when they get in the car, I'd appreciate if you didn't fart in here. And I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, if you have no choice and you have to fart, okay? I get it. We'll roll down the windows. Just tell me, but I think you should put your ass up so it doesn't go into the seat. You should lift.
Hover it, yeah.
You should lift because I can't have your ass like digging in my new leather and you fart and your gas is going to my new car. It's not okay.
Yeah.
Do you agree or no?
Yeah. Look, the smoking in the car, or even asking, that's a capital offense. I think that's a capital offense.
Right.
I think that's murder one. I think it's.
That's murder once. Yes.
That's.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think
no
there's
parole.
Yeah, no parole. No parole. Like the guy we were watching last night.
Yeah.
No parole.
It's life without any chance of parole.
No chance of parole.
Right.
You're never going to see a parole board. You may not be invited back in the car.
Right.
And then I think there's lesser offenses. I think there's lesser offenses.
Now,
I think farting is a slap on the wrist, to be honest with you. I think it's a slap on the wrist. If one slips out, I mean, what are you going to do? You going to ban the guy from your car for a fart?
No. But here's the deal. If I pick you up in my new car and you sit down and we're driving and we're like 10 minutes in and you just fart without saying anything and all of a sudden you go, hey, man, you might want to let the window down. That's not okay.
Is it a ticket or is it a misdemeanor? I mean, what are you giving the guy? Is he have to make a court appearance?
Listen, it's not points on a license, but it's a fine.
It's a fine.
Yeah,
it's a fine.
Because what I would do, this is what I would do.
So if you're a guy who likes to fart, you take the fine.
No, because if you pick me up in your Tesla and we start going, I'm going to go, Yanni, dude, I gotta. You might just roll the window down. I'll put my ass up.
Yeah,
like
but here's the thing.
I would, because I'm sensitive to the fact that I'm in a new Tesla. It smells like a new car.
You have etiquette. Yeah,
you have to do that.
You're good.
I know some people that go. I'll be honest with you. You've been out of line in the first Lexus.
I farted.
No,
a few times,
you farted and then go. Hey,
you didn't set the ground rules though.
No,
I didn't know because it's it's like different states. The laws are different.
Yeah.
The laws are different.
You did say...
They're like gun laws. It depends on where you are, whose car you're in. What state am I in? What are the fart laws? You
did say to me, you did say, hey, you might want to put the window down. I let it go.
Yeah.
But it was late.
Yeah, but it was late. But what I'm used to from the state I'm from, farting, you're allowed to fart. You're allowed to conceal carry a fart. You're allowed to conceal carry. Now you come from a highly regulated state. You come from Chicago, New York, where you regulate the farts.
It's in a new car, it's especially like
you got to go through a lot of red tape in order to be able to fart. I didn't know that.
If it's under 40,000 miles, that's where. If it's under if it's under 40,000 miles, it's a fairly new car. There's rules. The rules are more strict.
It's
with
a
farting.
Misdemeanor, and then it goes down to a ticket as the years go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But if it's new, if it's the first ride.
Yeah. But here's the thing: you never set the ground rules. You never told me what the state laws were.
Right.
You never told me.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
If I'm in your Tesla and I fart, in your new Tesla.
I'm okay with a fart.
You're okay with it?
Yeah, because it's
You'll
gas.
just laugh it off and you'll put the window down?
Farts are guy farts. I'm okay with guy farts. They're fun. They're entertaining. They don't leave a stain unless you shit through your pants.
Right.
Unless you shit through my onto the fake leather. Then,
Mikey, what do you think with this? You got a brand new car. You just spent, let's say.
First of all, can Mike fit in the fucking car? I mean, a guy can only fit in Shaq's car.
All right, so Mike,
what are you, a good 6'5"?
6'5".
All right, so you
tall drink of water.
So Mikey, you get a new truck. Right? You get a new truck, you spent like $35, $40 on it. New truck, it's about 2 weeks old. You pick up your buddy, you're driving through Georgia, you're excited, and he doesn't say anything, and he just basically, he might as well shit his pants because it stinks. And you just say, you're okay with it?
My instinct is he's going to catch the back of my hand real quick.
Oh, I like that.
Nice I am also
German.
Yeah.
But I am also the person that's going to fart in your brand new Lexus.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of biased because my asshole's open about 40% of the day. So I can't be the one to say that. However, I do know that cars' seats car makers know that you're going to be farting in your seats.
No.
So there are leather seats. Why would you
Google
worry
that
about
right now?
I did.
No, you did not.
Wow, this is interesting.
No.
Listen.
Car makers expect their products to be farted on or in. That's why the driver usually has a button. You can lock the doors, electric windows. But also the seats have been fitted specifically and conditioned to absorb certain amount of biological siding.
Wow.
So it's ergonomically designed for farts.
It's built for perspiration.
Yo, we just learned something.
You're sitting, sometimes you're in shorts, you're sweating, you're farting, it's pissing.
Breathable.
So when they make the car, they're going, this guy's going to fart.
Yeah.
That doesn't change the fact that you shouldn't just bust ass in somebody's brand new car. Although, there is something hilarious about the brand new car smell and just egg farts.
Yeah.
Like, that combination is
some
brutal.
of this probably is regional too. Like for the American cars, they probably make them a little more breathable because of our diet and our size. They probably make it real. And then you go to Japan, they probably don't even take it into consideration. Because they're so polite. If they fart in a car, I think they'll voluntarily throw themselves off the side of a building.
Yannis, do an impression.
Yeah.
Do an impression of a German. Do an impression of a German maker making a BMW.
Yeah.
And talk about how farts that they're going to do farts.
It depends on the regional styles. So for the Asian market, we don't have to spend any extra money to make sure that the seat is breathable for, and Irish guys, Irish guys don't fart. Irish guys, it's one of the funniest things me and Paul have talked about before. Irish guys will fucking drink themselves into oblivion. Right? Get into a bar fight. Fucking come home bloody. Eat fried fish, smell like fish, smoke a cigarette. But then if they need to fart, they will excuse themselves and go to the bathroom. Every Irish friend I had is just not comfortable with farts. Have you noticed that? Remember, it's something you've noticed, right? Yeah. It's something interesting about the Catholicism. Like they hide it. I can almost predict when someone tells me he's Irish, and if he starts farting, I'm going, "Are you full Irish?" And they never are.
Apparently, according to the internet, it's super rude to fart, and so here's a story about an Irish barista went to the hospital for holding a fart in for too long.
I tell you, I noticed it.
IrishCentral.com reports an Irishman fart was so bad it set off carbon monoxide alarms at a bar. So maybe it's so disrespectful to fart that they hold it in
so long that he went to the hospital.
So a barista did, and then some Irish guy sitting at a bar farted so bad after, according to them, a rake of pints. It set up the carbon monoxide alarm.
Yeah, and they drink a lot, so they got farts, a lot of bubble farts. I realized that it really sunk into my head. Like, I didn't notice it until I started paying attention to it.
Yeah.
And I had an ex-girlfriend who was as Irish can be, 10 uncles from upstate New York, and I loved her pops. Like, her pops was one of the greatest guys, and I've never seen someone drink like that. I mean, I've never seen someone just, those upstate people to begin with.
Yeah.
All they do is drink.
Yeah.
It's like going to the gym for them, like 20, 30 beer cans.
Yeah.
And like the guy, like he would always like excuse himself to go fart in the bathroom. And then my ex-girlfriend would tell about like if my dad doesn't fart, it's a thing in their family where farts are not like a thing. Like in my family, my dad would rip them. We'd crack up. It was like, it's a different thing.
Yeah, people.
My dad used to do this funny thing when he would fart, and it would make me laugh all the time. He'd like be falling asleep, and he'd rip one, and he would rip one, and he'd jump up. He goes, "Someone's in the house. Someone there? Somebody's in the house. Did you hear that?" And I would I would die laughing. And it was a joke.
When I was a little kid, my dad would like do like a quick little song and dance and then fart. Like it was always a joke.
Listen,
but it's funny how some people look at it as like go hiding.
Yeah, and it's unhealthy. You got to let them out. I mean, of course you got to hold them, but when you're with your boys, but the thing is, it's unhealthy to hold them. You got to let them out. It's like sneezing and trying to hold it in. It's bad for you.
Yeah,
you got to let them out. And here's the thing: they're funny. There's nothing will ever be funnier.
No, it's definitely funny, but in a brand new car, it's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line.
No,
we're in an enclosed space. Okay, we're in an enclosed space and we're very close to each other. Okay, even a big car with a big cabin inside, you're very close to each other. Okay, if it's winter and it's cold outside, okay, and we can't put the windows down because it's 20 degrees and you rip ass, it's a really tough. I'm not saying if you have
but
to,
you just found out that they were designed for it.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, new car, like I said, under 40,000 miles, it's a big offense.
Listen, I respect the laws of the land.
Yeah,
I don't break the law. I mean, that's the law in your car. That's the law. But as soon as your car gets to 40,000 miles, I'm gonna rip one and take the ticket.
Shit your pants.
I'm gonna just take the ticket. I'm gonna eat the ticket.
All right, guys. You know what? This is part 1. We're coming back. We're coming back with another episode of Yannis Pappas Part 2. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please like and subscribe. Check out our dates, paulvirzi.com. Check out Yannis's dates. Was it YannisPappas.com?
YannisPappasComedy.com.
YannisPappasComedy.com. Check out Mike Albanese. We will be back with Part 2. Take care.